Welcome to Soccer As We Like It, the Man United direction. We've got Emad with us on the chat, talking post-game versus Southampton. We had a big weekend with the New South Wales Supporters Club. We had the Robbo movie. We went out and watched the game as well. We had a lot of people at the game. Very disappointing, Emad. It's not getting any better for us. We saw the lineup come out and everyone had the same views on it. There wasn't too many that were positive before the game. What changes would have you made in that lineup before kickoff?
The obvious one would be our captain, Harry Maguire. You just saw, I saw the reaction from pretty much everyone at the pub there as soon as the lineup come through. Once we all knew that he was starting, everyone's head just dropped, and we knew that everyone said the same thing. It was, we're either going to draw or we're going to lose. There was no confidence in winning that game. The change I would have done would have been Lindelof for Maguire. But then everything else in that lineup, and probably Tellez for sure. But I don't know if he had if he was sick with COVID or if he's still recovering from something or not. But they're probably the only two changes I would have made.
Yeah, well, look, kickoff came along quite quick as we started. We started really well. We had Ronaldo had that early chance. He's missing some now at the moment. So, I'd like to. Ronaldo's got to be finishing now. We're coming to now where with that draw, we've got Arsenal on our tail with 2 games in hand. We've got Wolves. They got 1 game in hand. Spurs have still got 2, even though Spurs went down overnight. We've had a weekend. We had a day to think about it because we were all pretty heated up after the game and really disappointed. And I'm sure most United fans were disappointed. On YouTube, a lot of the big YouTube channels are there going, they don't know what to think anymore. And the poor buggers, they're actually at the game. We can actually walk away and go into the toilets and probably enjoy Scruffy's smelly toilets. That's probably better at the moment. Let me tell you.
It's been 2 days, but
yeah,
I still don't feel any better. Every time I think about it, it just gives me the fucking shits even more.
Yeah, look, it's well disappointing. And like I said, Ronaldo had a few chances in that game probably to seal it. And from a mutual's point of view, it was probably a good game because it was back and forth a fair bit.
Quite open.
But from a fan's point of view, even. What did we come into? We ended up scoring, and Sancho's goal was actually a good goal. You had Bruno put a good through ball, and the first half was good. I thought the first half was okay. And then the talk was, what do you think? What did you think of the first half?
Yeah. In the first half, like the last couple of games, our first halves are quite good. It's high intensity, winning the ball back quick. We're playing the ball up the field a lot quicker. We're creating a lot of chances, and you can see it is our main issue is our lack of finishing or failing to finish off a move. I think Southampton come into the game with a really good game plan. So, and we'll touch on the manager's comments after the game. We'll touch on that a bit later, but they knew what they were doing. They knew that we were going to play this high intensity football for the first half hour, 40 minutes. And then, because they didn't sit in a low block either, they were quite.
Well, not second half. Second half, I know. I've heard a few people talk about them playing, the low block, and I didn't really see that. I didn't see that again.
Once they scored their goal, they did. There were a lot of times where, but that's the game plan. That was the game plan. Once they scored their goal, there were 11 players behind the ball.
Yeah. Well, Southampton had heaps of chances. I think at half time, I looked at the stats of shots on goal, and Southampton had more. I think it was 7-4. They came close in the 34th minute. They little bit of work around the 1-2 around the box, and they had a good chance there. I think was that. No, it was the second half. Day had to make that save, wasn't it? Where he launched himself. They had some really good chances to score, and
that was first half.
Was that first half?
Yeah,
okay, so it was the first half. Yeah,
it was a bit acrobatic or whatever it was.
That's right. It was the half volley, wasn't it? Yeah.
come up with
39th
like
minute.
10, but
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, look, I've got the stats in front of me from the full game.
Yeah.
We had eight shots on target. We had 12 shots in total, and Southampton had 13 shots in total and 4 on target.
Oh,
So,
4 on target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
So
had 52% possession, which I don't know, it probably speaks about the game and how evenly contested it was. But,
it was
like you said, the first half was good. I enjoyed it. We went into, I think Pogba had a disallowed goal just before the break.
Yeah.
We needed that second goal. I
Yeah.
think it was disallowed for an offside, which everyone seems to have forgotten the offside rule. But having that second goal disallowed hurt us a bit going into the break at 1-0. 1-0 for us at half time isn't comfortable. Us taking any sort of lead isn't comfortable because we see what happens with this side every week. It's like,
well, that's 3 games in a row now. 3 games in a row,
yeah.
Probably 4 games in a row. 3 games in a row we've had a draw. Is that correct?
I like it better under Ollie when we concede first and come back and win games.
Well, apparently it was Ollie's fault again. The mentality of these players is Ollie's fault. So I'll be buggered if last year they beat Southampton 9-0. So if that's Ollie's fault that they had a draw again this year, well, I don't know. I'm lost. What do you think? What do you think on that? I see so many people writing it's Ollie's fault that these players have got this bad attitude. Last time I looked, Christmas Day first, they finished second, 9-0 against Southampton last time, but it's Ollie's fault that these players have got this type of attitude.
They're the same people that wanted Ollie out, but who don't want to blame the players now.
Yeah.
This is the problem. No one wants to hold these players accountable for how fit they are.
Yeah.
And how much they choke. And like we've always said, it doesn't matter who comes in and controls this team and manages this side. It's these players who are gonna. But once they step over the line, man, it's on them. The only thing that's on the manager is the substitutions and the tactics. But whatever tactics the manager gives you, once you cross that white line, mate, that's on you.
Well, definitely Ralph set him up. Look, let's look at Ralph setting the team up. He definitely set him up to win, 100%. We had 2 early chances, then we finished. Sancho, good ball from Bruno. You know, Rashford's put it across, and mate, even when you look at that, I think Sancho's missing that. I think lucky the player slid in and it went in. So, and he did it the week before as well. So, yeah. Ralph's definitely set him up to win, hasn't he?
They were, yeah, of course. A very strong lineups that he's been putting out the last 3-4 weeks, and the results haven't gone our way in that time. But these teams, this lineup that he puts out, it's strong enough to beat anyone on paper. But there's something going on that's more than just. It's not their lack of ability, but I don't know. There's something mentally wrong with these people. They're not up to it, and it's, you know, as fans of this club, man, it's fucking frustrating. It is so frustrating watching these cunts go week in, week out, doing half-assed performances, but still collecting a pay packet that we could only dream of.
Oh, only dream of that, mate. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, well, it's like when it's comebacks into the second. It's not like when they walk into half-time, Ralph's going, okay, your job's done. You know?
And I'd love to know what goes on in that dressing room at half-time.
Oh, you'd love to. I'm surprised no one's actually come out and said it. They tell us everything else, so.
Well, I was listening to Gary Neville's podcast today, and they were talking about the leaks that come out of the Manchester United, you know, dressing room or training ground, and we've all known this for a while, that it's the players that are leaking this stuff to their PR teams, and the PR teams are actually going to the media and telling them that information. Gary Neville said he knows the players that are doing it, but he won't throw them under the bus.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, have a look at it. But it just shows you how messed up it is, because everyone's more than happy to throw a manager under the bus, but the players get a free ride.
Yeah. Look,
Anyway.
I didn't even look at the press con. I haven't even looked at the press conference after the game. I was that pissed off with the game. I was just trying to forget about it, and it was the reason why I never ended up getting on Tim's pod. He wanted it. The game finished here at 2:30 in the morning, and mate, I wouldn't have been this calm, that's for sure, if I had got on the pod straight after. Yeah, it was crazy.
Especially when you sunk a few.
Yeah. Well, it was not my best behaviour. Yeah. So
then the second half starts, and typical United, but this time we only wait 3 minutes before we concede a goal.
Yeah, well, the talk at half time, wasn't it? Well, I know we were all sitting, we were talking at half time with Dean from Brisbane. And, one of the fellas that were on our table, he's not a United fan, but he's actually a Rochdale supporter. And, he actually said it's been a great game. So he was a neutral. So he thought it was a great game. And, Dean turned around to him and said to him, I guarantee we cop a goal just after half time, just like last week. And sure enough, it happened again. You know,
I'm always confident that the first 10 minutes of the second half we're going to concede. You see it.
Yeah.
You see it, and then even when we do concede, and then we start sort of trying to push a bit more, trying to chase a winner, I'm not even confident we're going to get one.
Yeah. Well, look, even at half time when they come off, it's just a dawdle, isn't it? It's not like they're sprinting into the dressing room.
Yeah.
There's no. You can still see there's no passion from this team at all, can't you? Maguire, second half, Maguire got caught out a couple of times again, and we had that free kick. That was, I think, about the 70th minute. And what irritates me about that is there's 6 players or 7 players offside. 7 players offside.
Everyone in that attacking position waiting for the free kick, they're all offside.
Yeah, and then they went and complained to the referee why it wasn't a goal. That just shows how deluded these players are. And even the players that were looking across the line, because you had Ronaldo was the furthest offside, and then you had Rashford just behind him and Pogba. Pogba was the furthest away, and he was one of the ones that was complaining. And mate, he could clearly see across that line that they were offside.
I think they're always going to try and have a whinge. They're always going to try and have a whinge to the ref. But how are you going to get away with an offside in today's game?
Yeah, that's it.
VAR and linesmen and cameras everywhere. You're not going to get away with an offside. But what else did we have in that second half? We had
the goal. The goal. You got Luke Shaw. He's inside. He's taken up Maguire's position. Varane got beaten like dog's dinner. No one's put shit on Varane. The first couple of minutes of that game, Varane got beaten out on the right-hand side, travelling towards our goal. Second half, he got beat easily for the goal. Delay was dawdling behind. And, there was someone on the other side of Shaw as well. So he basically had 2 men because Sancho didn't make up the ground to help him out.
How does that attack from Southampton start? Where does it all start from? From who was pressing like a headless chook all game?
Yeah, and we called it at the same time at that night. Bruno pressed up on the goalkeeper. Yeah, and no one falls in for him again. I do not understand why he does it. I don't. Tell me why he presses up.
I don't know. Look, if we all know that if you're going to press, you have to press as a team. Everyone has to do it. Doing it on your own, and he did it. He did it quite a bit against. I think it was when Liverpool slapped us 5-0.
Yeah,
I think it was in that game. Might have been that one. But when you press, the whole team has to press. He's pressing on his own, and he's 10 to 15 meters ahead of Ronaldo at all times. And I was telling the boys, Ronaldo, there's no movement from that guy whatsoever. You get more movement out of the United Trinity statue out the front of Old Trafford than you do from Ronaldo. He wouldn't know how to press a remote control, let alone press a defender. I'm telling you, man.
Oh, mate, you're in trouble. The world's against you now, mate. You're gone.
No, bring it on.
Stop talking the truth, mate.
No, this is my thing, right? We all criticise Harry Maguire, yeah? Because his job is to defend. Yeah, but obviously he can't do it because he's useless. Yeah, but let's apply that same energy to the guys on the opposite end on the pitch, whose job it is to score goals and create goals.
Yeah, I agree. Look,
it's got to be fair. I'm not going to criticize Ronaldo just because of who he is and what he's done. Bruno's the same thing. For me, Bruno's done nothing in the game to get a free ride from criticism. What's he achieved in the game? He's achieved nothing. He hasn't got that Ronaldo status. He hasn't got the goals as many goals as Ronaldo or anyone else for that matter to sort of give him that free ride and not be able to copy any criticism. You're going to have to criticize him.
Well, look, after the game, one thing I came to the view of was, we're always talking about our fullbacks, how much they lose the ball, but we never talk about how tired they may be coming towards the 70th and 80th minute. Like they're constantly under the pump because our midfield is so crap. So I counted probably five's been nice. The amount of times Southampton ran the ball out of their defence and probably took up 20 to 30 metres of the pitch, and the fullbacks are having to backtrack because our midfield isn't working. I particularly looked at Scott McTominay, and he was ghosting through the second half again. And tell me what your views are. I know you're a fan of Scott McTominay, so give me your views on Scott.
Look, he didn't have the greatest game, but I don't think he was the worst on the pitch at the same sense, you know. He's running around as well like a headless chook, but like you said, if he's playing in the six, like he's sort of like that extra defender. So he's a stopper for the midfield, yeah? Defending a game for 70, 80 minutes is probably, it's so hard. And I don't care how fit you are, how, big of a league you play in or big of a club you play for, defending for that long is difficult, man. I've always been taught from under sixes that defending starts from the front.
Yeah.
Right? So from your forwards to your midfield, and then you start working your way back, everyone has to defend. But if you're forwards, right, so obviously now everyone plays with one striker, but if you're striker and you're number 10, either not defending or caught out of position, and then your wingers aren't tracking back, that puts a lot of pressure on the midfield.
Well, we definitely don't defend as a team. Hence the reason why Bruno goes up and decides to defend the goalkeeper, which is the most pointless thing in the game.
Disciplined. He's been quite disciplined since Ralph come in terms of pressing by himself, because he did that a lot under Ollie as well. But then when Ralph come in, he sort of pulled back on doing that for a while. It's only this game that I've noticed, like, why he just, even last week, I don't think he decided to. He didn't press like by himself. Anyway, he didn't press by himself last week. The other day against Southampton, I don't know what was wrong with him. He just, every time they had the ball, he just shot out of the blocks like a cannon. Ridiculous. There's no need for it.
In attacking wides with Scott, I saw a couple of times that Delo had the ball coming out. I didn't think McTominay was making himself an option to play out in that triangle area. So we always had to go down the line. The ball didn't come inside because Scott McTominay was too far across towards Shaw or something like that. And then one thing I'll give Maguire in this game, he didn't really try and take the ball past the midfield. He was actually looking for someone to come and grab the ball.
He always played it across the shore anyway, Maguire. I think that's down to confidence, to be honest.
Yeah.
He knows he's in a bad run of form and he's in a bad spot at the moment. So I think Maguire tried to play it as safe as he possibly could against Southampton. I honestly do. Like, his positioning and defending is still poor, but but
it's still up to Scott McTominay to come and receive that ball in an attacking role.
Yeah, I get that. And look, for me, Scott's job should be quite easier than what, one, he makes it, and two, everyone else makes it for him. Scott's job in that sixth role should just be get the ball from your backs, whoever's playing it, and all you got to do is find Pogba or Bruno.
Yeah, that's it.
No,
I know that sounds easy. But a lot of our players aren't moving as well.
Yeah, but don't do any more than that. I don't want you to try and spray a a 30-yard pass on the diagonal to Sancho or Rashford or whoever. Don't just play that basic. Yeah, get the ball from your backs, from your fullback, your centre back. Find Bruno or Pogba, and I think your job is done, and you're in for an easier game.
His job is just to link up. His job is to link.
That's right.
And he was failing to do that big time.
Defensively with McTominay, I can't single him out and say he's not doing his bit. Everyone's lacking in that area.
Yeah.
In saying that, I'll move on to Pogba. I thought Pogba's first 45 minutes, unbelievable.
Yeah, he had a great game, Pogba, again.
Yeah, he had one of those games where you go, why are we letting his contract run out?
Yeah, I don't know. Look, it's a tough one. Look, everyone, yeah, whenever he's been here now 5 years. Is this his fifth year? Fifth year?
Could be six.
Sixth year. You know, he's been plagued with injuries. He really only turns up when he wants to turn up. You know, and now he's looking for some money. So he's decided to put on a performance, you know, for the last two games. And it's a hard look. I've seen Pogba play live, and mate, he's the type of player that we do need, you know. But his mentality is so poor. It's for me. It's a tough one. As through and through as I am with United, you're going to have to start cutting these players, because it doesn't matter who comes in; they're going to have the same attitude with them as well. To hear that there's the media saying, oh, the players want this manager, the players want that manager, that's totally wrong straight up. That's crazy. Well, I don't know whether that's media talk or that's the players, again, leaking stuff into the media.
It is. That's what I was talking about before with the Gary Neville thing. That's what he was referring to, about players picking which manager they want and who they don't want to be under. And it's them leaking stuff to their agent or their PR team. And then those people from the PR team are actually telling the media, this is what's going on in the club.
Yeah.
So,
look, coming towards the end of the game, we had Maguire. Maguire had a good chance to finish. I think he had two good chances to finish. Sorry?
What a save from the keeper, though.
Yeah. Good save.
That was a brilliant save. Yeah.
You know, and I actually thought in that first half, once we scored, we sat back again. You know, we did. We sat back again.
I don't get it, but I do not understand. If you've taken the lead in a game that you're dominating, which, like, we weren't dominating that in terms of, we were bossing it, but we had the better possession, we had the chances. For me, I'll throw that under the category of dominance. I don't understand why when we score a goal, we go into our shell and we decide to sit back and we're not going to push for that second. It's so frustrating, man. It annoys me.
I don't think we're capable of making top four. That's for sure. I think once the other teams have played their other games, I think we're going to drop back to 8th. And I said, at this stage, the way we're playing, we'd be lucky to get into Conference League. Look how embarrassing. Fuck. It's a fucking disgrace.
What's the position that doesn't make Conference League? Whatever that one is, that's where I want to finish. If we don't make the 4, I don't want to finish in Europa and I don't want to finish in the Conference League.
So would that be 10th? Or is 10th still in there?
I don't know.
It's
I don't know how many.
Insane, man.
All right, so we got. What game was Michael Carrick's last game Arsenal?
Michael Carrick's last game was Arsenal, yeah. And that was a draw.
No, we beat them.
Was that a draw? Oh, we beat them 3-2, was it?
Yeah, okay. So Ralph's first game, against Palace.
Yeah.
And his I think they called it the 10 run of games that we were supposed to take maximum points from.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go 1-0 against Palace, 1-0 against Norwich. So 2 wins, yeah. There was a Champions League game in there as well against Young Boys, which we drew 1-1. that will go. And then after that, 1-1 against Newcastle at St. James's. And then we beat Burnley 3-1. And then we lost to Wolves at home. We had a draw against Villa. Then we beat Brentford. Then we beat West Ham. Then we had the game against Borough in the FA Cup, which went.
Rennick's only lost one game, hasn't he? He's only lost one game.
So far, the game against Wolves and against Borough in the cup, in the FA Cup.
So the list of fixtures coming up. On Wednesday we've got Brighton, Leeds,
then Leeds,
Atletico,
Watford.
Yeah, and then it all begins. So City, Tottenham, Atletico. I think it's Liverpool after that, Leicester City. Everton are starting to get on a roll. And then you got one against Norwich and Arsenal. What's that, April?
I'll tell you now.
I could be over there for those. So I'm thinking about getting over there.
The only games I've got any sort of confidence in will probably be against Leeds and Spurs.
Yeah, but a lot of people thinking we're going to go on and win the Champions League because Ronaldo is the reason why we're still in the Champions League. So
you're not going to win the Champions League because you're relying on Ronaldo to pull out a 89th minute winner.
Tap in,
or he scored one that volley against, I think, Atalanta. But it's not a one-man sport, Adam.
I know this. And, people hassle me all the time because I talk about Ronaldo, but it's not the fact I love Ronaldo. I think everything he's done, and I'll keep saying it, I think everything he's done is brilliant. But what annoys me the most are the fans, how they let him get away with scot-free. And
that's what I mean.
That's what annoys me. It's not Ronaldo. Nothing. Sorry?
In this current patch that we're going through, he's not offering anything.
No, he's not. He's not offering anything. And we can blame the midfield as much as we want. Look, I can stand up front. And run a good line. I can do that. But if he's not getting the ball, he's not getting the ball. But there's other players on the pitch. We can't just look for him all the time. You know what I mean? We found him 3 times on the weekend. 3 times he was put into the hole. 1 was cleared off the line. 1 was shot into the keeper. And 1 was offside. So it's 3 opportunities, and they were all good opportunities to score. Now, I'm not going to sit here on this podcast and say he was unlucky. It's not unlucky.
The amount of kids that he's got, he should know exactly what to do once he gets in the hole.
But he can afford not to. But mate, he can afford not to pull out. But that's the thing.
Yeah, exactly. Mate, look, this is what I'm saying before. We have to apply the same energy and the same level of criticism to the blokes in every position on the park. We can sit here and hammer Maguire every day of the week because he's not performing his job, his role as a centre back, as the captain, whatever. But you've got to apply the same energy to the bloke on the other end, whose sole job is to score goals, which he hasn't been doing lately. Yeah, all right, he's bagged a few this season. He's United's top goal scorer. But even that, does that really mean anything to you? It's not hard to be United's top goal scorer. We had a bloke in our team who was our top goal scorer. He had 7 goals for the season. It's nothing to write home about. He had 7 goals.
Not these days. Look, no. I understand Ronaldo's mentality. Ronaldo's mentality, fuck, 1 year he scored what? 40 plus goals for us. Look, I get it. But
it's not that Ronaldo though.
It's not that Ronaldo. Exactly. And this is my point, mate. This is my point. For me, and I'll continually say it, we didn't need to sign him. It was just a PR exercise. And we can go over this all the time, and we can talk about it all the time. Everyone's starting to see it now. And I do feel sorry for Ronaldo, and he has come back. And mate, I was happy. I'm doing the Sue when he signed up, everything like that. I was excited as everyone else. But I'm not going to sit here and stick up for the guy just because he's Ronaldo, and that's just not me.
Look, we've said it before, man. In hindsight, would you, if you had your time over again, would you sign him? No way.
No way, man. No
way.
No. Anyway, let's move on and let's try and finish the pod on a positive. Okay, we spoke about Pogba. The boys, we're back to Brighton. Look, Brighton are a pretty good side. I think, look, we're definitely going to show a good first half or good second half. I don't think we're going to go behind against Brighton. It's away from home. I'm pretty sure. Oh, no, it's at home. Is it at home? Yeah, it's at home. So we're at home again. And I know we don't have the best results at home, but, the boys have just got to keep pushing forward. Me and you aren't going to sit here and go, we're not going to go for United anymore. So, I don't want to keep, as much as I think there's problems in the dressing room, problems with the board, problems with everywhere, I'm going to go into the game positive again. Into my tipping comp, I'm not going to go and back Brighton to win, that's for sure. I'm confident United are going to go get 3 points. And I think that every week, regardless. My heart always tells me United's going to get 3 points. I love this team. I'll always back them to the hilt, So we've got a 7:15 kickoff on Wednesday. Look, we love all our United supporters at our supporters club. We had a great weekend and everything like that. And I want to thank everyone that organised that for the New South Wales Supporters Club as well. We all rocked up. We decorated the Scruffy Murphys and everything like that. And mate, we had a ball. It was a great time, regardless of the result.
Mark Bosney's come out.
Yeah, Mark Bosney's come out. Thanks, Bozzer. He always looks after our podcast. He always looks after our supporters club. And it's good. He comes in. He watched the Robbo movie with us. He had to go home because his family haven't been well lately with COVID. So it's good to have him come along and keep supporting the supporters club and everything like that. Everyone gets excited about it. Everyone has photos with him. He's just a champion bloke, absolute champion bloke. So, Emad, any finishing words?
Look, like you said, we got Brighton midweek. We hope for the best, and that's about it. But this team has a good habit of killing any hope we have at all. So,
come on, mate. I was trying to be positive at the end, eh?
I know, man. And good on you, but I can't do it, man. I honestly.
This is why Tim's asked you on the pod, mate, because you call it the way it is. So remember, people, like, share, subscribe, get those thumbs up. We're trying to pump this podcast forward, and we're trying to get to 4K followers. This is why we've got the opportunity. We're trying to get everyone involved. If you've got something to chat about, throw us a line, because we're happy to put your question to everyone and have a good chat about it. We know Emad calls it the way it is, and that's why we love him on this show. So like, share, subscribe. We'll talk to you next time. And come on, United. Let's beat Brighton, and let's beat them well. Let's give the fans something to celebrate. See you, mate. You have a good afternoon, and I'll talk to you later. See you, mate.
Man.
Bye.